Hey everybody, welcome to Buzzing About Romance. I am Becky, and joining me for this episode is Lindsey. Hi, Lindsey. You have to talk, Lindsey, because the audio people can't hear you.
I thought I said hi. I'll be louder.
You did not say. I mean, maybe you said hi in your head, but it was not actually vocal.
Because we still release these. We stream them to YouTube, but then we do release them as podcast into the regular feed. So you have to talk.
I'm working on it.
Okay. And Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, Becky.
And Leah. Hello, Leah.
Hello, Becky.
Leah's worried that she got a new camera and that her head looks big. I think it looks nice.
Good.
It's extra like bright here too, because it's not that weird like dirty film from like my MacBook camera. So I had to like readjust like my level, and so if my face like accidentally disappears, also it fell off because I'm getting used to it.
I've done that.
If my face disappears.
I mean, my light will not turn off tonight because everybody knows I'm recording, but the camera might fall. So.
Okay. We'll just fall with you.
Welcome
Leah.
to my
But I
world,
think
friends.
you look nice. I like the new camera.
I do
you.
too.
You look fancy. I put my St. Patrick's Day decorations up.
Oh, yeah.
Look, like
Ooh, I gotta find my gnome shirt.
we have
Not that I don't wear it during the middle of the year, like randomly anyway, but just saying.
It is March. February was quick, but not painless in my house. So
Yeah, February seemed like it flew by. It was not a good month, but it flew by.
although I feel like last week was like a week of Mondays. Like if it could go awry.
Yeah, but you had a bad week last week.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully we are on the mend for this week and March will be better, right?
Does it come in like a lamb?
If it comes in like a
It
lamb,
came
it
in
goes
like a
out.
lion, out like a lamb. And
Yeah.
we had really shitty weather yesterday. So.
Oh, it was nice here, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
it snowed and like the wind was bad. Like it was shitty here.
Mike Burrier is on spring break for one full week during March, so that will be bonus. We get to do like remodel and household stuff, so good times. What
You've
can I
had a lot of
convince
Mike.
Michael to build me over spring break?
Yeah, I was like, this sounds like Michael doing work and Becky supervising.
Yes, yes, yes. It's also
Michael has had a month, though. Maybe he
Yes.
needs to take a day.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
take a
might
vacation.
deserve a break.
Well, I might convince him to build my coffee bar that I really want in my kitchen because I bought my espresso machine today.
Yay.
I've been only talking about getting it since October, September?
When it first came
it's been a
out.
while.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. So be prepared for coffee pictures I'm going to try to convince Sydney to learn how to make latte art.
Ooh.
Oh.
Maybe if we could get Ninja as a sponsor and they'll send us all a coffee bar.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I would like a coffee bar and a slushy machine. Those are my two like requests.
You know, with like one of their like little bullet pulverizers that like sort of works as like a single serve smoothie or like a what is the
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. It's like
yeah.
the personal blender. I have like an
Yeah, I have
immersion
one of
blender and like a little I mean I have a Ninja blender and has like the single serve like
Yeah.
cup
Oh, thank you.
that I can put on it. But I mean, yeah,
I am a big fan of, like, I've never had it, but I see everybody doing their creamy stuff. Like
my
with the
neighbor
ice
has
cream
the
thing.
creamy, and I've been very tempted to just ask to borrow it, but I haven't done it yet.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that.
It
like-
makes the ice cream.
It makes ice cream.
It's like a
Oh,
plastic
the Dole
container,
Whip
and you can like
thing?
make your own blends and stuff.
But like it has a setting for gelato and frozen yogurt. Like you could
or
even be
smoothie
healthy
bowls.
if you want it.
I think I might
I don't want to clean that.
I think I got it for my birthday one year and I used it one time and it lives on top of my mug cabinet.
Okay, we're going to talk about Lindsey later. We don't have time to unpack that tonight. Okay, so we do have an episode. We're not just going to talk about small kitchen appliances.
It kind of like relates.
It does fit tonight.
And I think they're coffee bar.
Usually we are nowhere close to what we're talking about, but tonight it fits.
It kind of does fit. Okay. So we're brewing up some extra sweet. We're brewing up something extra sweet today as we dive into one of our favorite romance settings, the bakery and coffee shop. Whether it's a cozy cafe in a small town, a bustling urban bakery, or the grumpy barista falling for the sunshine regular, there's just something about these places that make romance even more delicious. So why do we love these settings so much? What do they add to the story? And why do they make for some of the best meet cutes? We're breaking it all down, from the swoony tension between characters over lattes and pastries to the deep symbolism of food, love, and community. Grab your favorite drink, make it a sweet treat, and settle in as we talk about all things romance, coffee, and baked goods. So let's do this first. What is your go-to coffee order? Do you have a go-to coffee order? I'm sure Lindsey does.
wearing my coffee shop. You can't even see it, but I'm wearing my coffee shop sweater today. I didn't even plan this. It's from a coffee shop here that is called Heatwave, and I have like 20 coffee shop orders, but I like to get, like, when I go in, I like to get whatever their seasonal is. And we have like the new coffee shop I like a lot. They're called Heatwave, and they do different flavored cold foam cold brews. So like the one they have right now is orange cardamom, and the cold brew coffee they make with it, like the orange seamlessly, like the flavors they pick for the cold foam like work seamlessly with the flavor of the cold brew, and it is so freaking good. I'm so obsessed with them. Anyway,
Jenny, what's your go-to coffee house order?
A raspberry mocha.
Raspberry mocha. Leah, what is your go-to coffee order?
Mine, it depends on where I'm going. Like, we have a local coffee shop that I just like. Their brewed coffee is amazing, like just a straight cup of coffee, but they have a really good mocha because of the chocolate they use. But if I'm going to Starbucks, I always get a caramel macchiato. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's just like the one I always get.
I-
Nora likes to mix it up a little bit, but
I
I'm
do
just
like a
boring.
nitro cold brew, and again, it's probably only something you can get for me, you can only get that at like Starbucks.
Mhm.
But locally, I'm always interested in a mocha. I'm a little obsessed with all of these different flavored cold foams. I haven't fallen in love with lavender yet. I tried it.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Do you love that?
I
Yes,
like
I
a
do.
lavender in my lemonade, but really that's it.
I love lavender lemonade. I love lemon lavender. In general, that was my wedding cake flavor.
Okay.
Ooh.
See, and I do love the pistachio latte or the pistachio cold foam.
I like a pistachio latte also.
I found pistachio butter at Walmart by that Be Good food brand.
Better good.
Oh, yeah.
Better Good, is that what it is? Better Good?
Uh-huh.
And I just take a spoonful of it and like stir it into my coffee and then add cream and a little sweetener. It's delicious.
No joke, I started buying that stuff after you told me about it, and my Michael uses it in like sandwiches. He eats it.
But it's
He
so
eats
rich.
so much of it. It's really good, and it's actually pretty good for you.
Yeah, it's really rich though. But I do like a pistachio. I like chocolate cold foam on a cold brew. That also works lovely. Okay, so here's a funny story. Stacy shares in the chat on YouTube. Crazy, I just pulled a pumpkin coffee cake with cream cheese swirl out of the oven. Well, friend,
She did.
first of all, you didn't share the recipe in the Discord. Secondly, where's my piece? Right?
Yeah, definitely. You need to share that over in the Discord. I do like a chai latte, like Bonnie said, but I usually get the dirty chai.
I was going to say,
'cause
you're a dirty chai. Because
I
she's
like
a dirty girl.
chai. I actually had one yesterday at my local coffee shop. It was quite tasty.
Leah's
The
a
coffee
dirty,
shop
dirty
that
girl.
we have that I'm obsessed with, they partner with a chocolate shop, and they made a pumpkin spice cold brew chocolate bar. And like, I was gonna share it with other people, and Charlie was like, no, that is too good to share. Like, those belong in our house. And I have like 3 of these.
Did
and
I send you the chocolate? So did I send it to any of you actually? So where Sid works, the donut shop is also a coffee roaster. And they have there's a local chocolate ice cream shop called Dietz's here in town, and they have signature bars that you can only buy at the coffee shop. So it has like their
I,
beans in the chocolate and stuff. I think I
you've
sent one.
never you've never sent me that. I get the caramels and the
I was
chocolate
like,
covered pretzels, and that is
Oh,
all.
Okay,
that's a
I'll have
I
to
am
buy some chocolate
feeling
bars.
I am feeling a
The
little
pretzels.
unloved right now.
I'm really sorry. Um, when you
I
guys
have
come
a
to visit,
feeling they don't make it to our boxes.
This is
well,
true. You may have
possible.
purchased them for us, but they don't actually get to
It's
us.
possible. It's possible. They're delicious because they have like a dark one. They have a milk chocolate with the regular beans, and then the creme brulee coffee that we
Ooh,
had last Saturday, Jenny. They have
Oh
that
yeah.
flavoring in the chocolate. So good.
that would
But
be really good.
I also know that Lindsay's like, please send me more chocolate covered pretzels.
it's such a problem. They're so
I
good.
have to share
I've been
mine.
making chocolate covered pretzels so much. Like, I brought a bag of them when I went back to visit my family. Like, I've been getting fancy seasonal sprinkles. And then for some reason, I bought llamas and cactus sprinkles off Amazon. And I was like, now I need to make chocolate
Llamas? Like mini
with llama.
llamas?
Yes.
I want to eat llama
So now
sprinkles.
Leah's on Amazon buying llama sprinkles. Okay.
Hey,
It's
I am no touching my phone right now, but that I probably will buy them before the end of the night.
So let's talk about the coffee shop and the bakery setting.
Yeah.
Um, why do bakeries and coffee shop, why do you think that that is something that is often found in romances? I mean, a lot of meet cutes, a lot of times we'll find heroines or heroes that work in the coffee shop, or especially in small town settings, we often see a bakery or a coffee shop that is pivotal to the setting of the town and the story.
Well, because it is a big part of the town. Like I live in a very small town, as I've said before. So, and then it's adjacent to another small town. We have, no joke, 4 coffee shops and bakeries in like the within a 5 mile radius. And they're all busy, they're all like frequented. It's one of those things where lots of people drink coffee and lots of people drink tea, and who doesn't love a scone?
I mean, I'm a biscotti girl. We had to.
I mean, I like a biscotti too, but a good scone, yeah. I'm just saying, like it's one of those things, it's an easy setting to create because you go, you sit down, you have conversation.
Yeah.
It's also really versatile in what they can do because it's a
Mhm.
community center. They're not just a coffee shop. Like they're a place where people meet for different purposes, like business, casually meet, accidentally meet. There's usually some kind of like community event. Like there's been some romances where they do like game nights at coffee shops or things like that. So I think
Mhm.
like it's kind of like a crossroads in most towns of
Yeah.
traffic.
Well,
Uh,
and I know that like S.J. Tilly, the first book in her series, Sleek Kitten, the heroine goes to a coffee shop that does romance readings. Like you get to pick a passage from your favorite romance book and read it out loud and share. And it really fit into like her perfect day kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Um, but then it also like the fact that he showed up and that he went there and was willing to do that. I think that adds it adds a piece. Like, because do you think that? So do you? I also feel like bakeries and coffee shops versus like say a gym or a bar are more gender neutral. Like the dude can be the barista, the girl can be the barista. Do you know what I mean?
My bet is dudes. A lot of them are dudes.
A lot of them are dudes.
Hmm.
I think it does lend to the gender neutral, but also like there's less stereotype with the baristas as like because bartenders a lot of times are like they're the hot bartender. And it's like, yes, if the dude is the barista, he's the hot barista. But a lot of times you'll have a fat heroine as a bakery owner or a barista coffee shop owner. And I'm not saying that it's right in that stereotype, but it's easier to have that than like the fat heroin bartender, which
Or
there
even, but even the fat heroine who owns the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We don't typically see that.
exactly. Like it
Yeah, if
kind
you
of
had
lends
that
into
rack,
that.
I would like it.
Right? We want the plus size girly in the gym. That would be great.
Mhm.
So if you've written that, let us know.
I know I've come across a couple of them. I know I have, but I can't tell you what they are off the top of my head. But and that's the thing, like it's an easy pick because of that stereotype, but it actually creates a really dynamic story at the same time. And it's one of those things like a bar, like when you're going to a bar, it's loud. Like easy conversation is not always e like I'm using the word easy a lot here, people.
You are.
It's okay.
I think
No, but
But
I
it's
think
like go ahead,
there's more
Jenny.
traffic in the coffee shop and bakery because they're open during the day, right? You go
Yeah.
to the bar at night. And so like you're seeing people of all walks of life. Like the bar scene is definitely a different demographic
right.
Yeah. Well, and
where
You get
Stacy said in
everyone
the
goes to the
chat
coffee shop.
you
the
get looked
hours of
down upon if you go to
operation.
the bar at 9 a.m. before you go to work. People don't really
Yeah,
Right.
like
I
that.
mean, I don't think the bar here is open at 9 a.m., but
The Stony is here, so we can always go there.
well, that does not surprise me at all.
But that's the thing, like you get that you can have that morning traffic in a lot of coffee shops. Like not all of them are open late, like some close early, but there are a lot that are
Well,
open late too. So like you have the early morning traffic and the like late afternoon,
Bonnie
evening
says it
traffic too.
too. It's a setting that people know and can relate to. And that's
Hmm.
really true. Like, I can visualize fairly easy, even the smallest of coffee shops, the smallest of bakeries. I
Yeah.
do think that it fits more seamlessly in a small town setting than it does in an urban setting.
Hmm.
Because again, there's a Starbucks on every corner.
Well, and that's the thing. There's less mom and pop shops in the urban setting. Like we have a Dunkin', and it took years for that to come because like it's the adjoining town, but they're very against like any corporations coming in, but they got around it because of like where the location
Yeah.
is. But and we're getting a Starbucks like on the other side of town, but it's like on the main drag and it's in
Well,
a different
and I think in an
borough,
urban
so
setting, the coffee cart
yeah.
is more
Oh,
the vibe. Like the Jessica Peterson book, The Troublemaker. She owns the coffee shop in downtown Charlotte, goes to the office and sells the
Hmm.
coffee from her cart. And I think Laura Pavlov and Willow Astor wrote a book together that book one in that series, it's a Billionaire Brother series. They she owns the coffee shop but wants to open like a standalone bakery
Hmm.
within their building and stuff. So
Coffee shop cart also opens the door for like so many different ways to approach like romance and meet cute. And I say that because like one of the coffee carts here, when Hosier came through on his concert, like he bought the coffee cart for the day.
oh, okay.
That so it's like there's so many different ways you can take these stories because of like how versatile the businesses are.
Well, and I think it's Smitten by Lauren Rowe, where she uses the coffee shop setting to overcome her stage fright because she can perform at open mic
mhm.
night. So you can even see things like rock star romances with a coffee shop in it,
Hmm.
sports romances, Canon by Sawyer Bennett. She's the manager of the coffee shop and they literally run into, and I'm sorry, I think that is the disaster meet cute of running in and spilling coffee because I'm a spiller. Like, if you see me carrying liquid, steer clear, people, because I'm gonna spill it.
It's not just the liquids.
Well, no,
Right.
I spill all the things, but I just think that that's such a great meet cute, and it creates almost this instant spark. And for people that don't love instant connection, so I ask you this question, Jenny. For people who don't love instant connection, if it's a meat disaster like that, does it make it a little bit more believable into their chemistry?
I think it does, depending on how like the person that got spilled on reacts.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If that makes it like if they like freak out and like start yelling at them, maybe not like an instant connection, but like if they like react like, hey, it's okay, like then it's like a relatable like desire.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It kind of has that wrong moment, wrong time kind of vibe a little bit, which I think adds a layer of chemistry to things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It definitely creates tension, like because you're like,
Well,
especially if the coffee is hot and
right?
And
it's
it
on.
always is. It almost always is hot because it just wouldn't be the same if it wasn't like scalding. You have
I
to
always
like,
like when the like whoever is the spiller gets all the napkins and is trying to wipe down like the guy in the very expensive suit. Sister.
and then she gets to the crotchnal area and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe I should stop doing that.
I will say one of the things about coffee shops that I really love is oftentimes if it's not the main characters that are the owners of the coffee shop, but a lot of stuff happens in the coffee shop. And I'm talking about one specifically, and that is the coffee shop in Winterville. Because the lady that owns the coffee shop in Winterville kind of has this thing for the dad of book 2, and he's also the town mechanic. And, like, I still to this day ask Carrie Elks if we could have their book yet. Like
just even a little novella.
A novella.
well, we got, like, a line in the last book that they're, together.
Bumping uglies.
Yeah. But I'm just like, wait. Also love it. Lindsay, I can't think of the book, but I also love it when the owner of the coffee shop lives upstairs. Above.
Neutral grounds.
What is it?
Kate's neutral grounds.
Yes, neutral
Mhm.
grounds. Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, I love that too because you can't really escape.
Right.
Yeah, it actually happens a lot because you have these owners who are younger and trying to save money, so like they're in like one space and it's like that, like the mortgage or the rent is, you know what I mean?
I just looked at the YouTube comments.
Wait, it's
I
not
From
was like,
Jeremy?
what? I was like, that was not funny.
Wait, I'm
Oh
looking.
no, I laughed, but
Um,
it was like a serious moment, so I didn't say anything. I was waiting to see who else read it.
Hey, Jenny, did you get the hot dog? It's how we went to the next level.
Oh, yes, it is.
Did you have a meat disaster?
No, he called
Also,
me
you
and
cannot
asked
leave
if
us hanging with that.
Yeah, what about a
he
hot
called
dog, Jenny?
he called me and asked me if I was buying the hot dogs.
at the coffee shop.
At the coffee.
No, he was going into Meyer.
Oh, okay.
We have a hot dog bar.
I do like a good hot dog.
I
It's
do
like a
too.
bar that does fancy hot dogs and fancy cocktails.
See, I like a chili dog with onions and mustard. That is
No,
a
I like a
chili
hot
dog
dog
with
with
everything.
cheddar
Yeah.
cheese and bacon and barbecue sauce.
No, thank you.
Or a coleslaw dog. So a hot dog with coleslaw and tomatoes on it.
That also
So
sounds
delicious.
disgusting.
And do you know what hot dogs are perfect for those kinds of hot dog? Fancy hot dogs? The Costco Kirtland brand hot dogs.
Oh my gosh, those are so bad.
Water bag?
Why are they bad?
They have so much. So I have to dose my child by the amount of fat he eats.
Okay, so what you mean bad is they're very delicious but not healthy.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm obsessed with them. So that's, I think, the only reason Mike Burrier agreed to let me have a Costco membership is so that we can buy those hot dogs.
Well, I mean, you could go to. Well, I guess never mind. They don't let you anymore.
No. And I'm not talking about the
Anyways.
ones from the stand. I'm talking about, like, I bought the 8-pack of
You
wieners.
buying a whole bag.
I bought
Take
an
them home.
8-pack of wieners.
8-pack.
Becky bought the. Yeah, Becky bought the hot dogs. I did not.
Okay.
Anyways.
And there is our tangent.
So one of the things that came up as I was looking for this is there's also there's a care that goes in when you own a bakery or you
Mhm.
own a coffee shop. You have regulars, you have people you care about. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things, that we're looking for in our romance, right? Are those connections, those caregiving, those communities. And, you want to create an atmosphere of caregiving, but it also, between the two, like I think of Harlow James, the first book in her Billionaire series. She's a barista working part-time, and he like buys her a basket of cheese, which doesn't have so much to do with the coffee shop. It's that's how he finds out where she works, and he wants her to eat and finds out her favorite food is cheese. But it goes to the heart of providing nourishment and feeding people.
That is a big time upfront romantic gesture.
Yeah.
A basket of
It's
cheese.
expensive.
Cheese is expensive.
Yeah.
Well, and it was like fancy cheese too. It wasn't just like basic stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
big thing.
I also love it. Kiss by Kaylee Ryan. In that book, she keeps saying she can't go on a date with him because she has to stay and till the bakery sells out, and then she's got to be up early in the morning to bake for the next day. He legit buys out the bakery.
Yeah.
Well, and there's another book that I've read, but I can't think of. It's not on my list and I can't think of it. And like she always talks about how she has to get up super early, so their date nights are always at like 4 p.m. They're like they do like the early bird special, so that way they can hang out. And he goes to sleep with her and like wakes up with her, and it's like I cannot think of what it is off the like now.
There's a little bit of that in Kiss My Kiss too. Kaylee Ryan, that book is another one where the heroine is plus size and she's been abused
Yes.
by her ex from her size, and like the way Kaylee Ryan handles that, the way that the hero shows up, like that's a really good book. Like if you want a hero, it's just like
That was such a good series to binge too. It's the Riggs brothers. Riggins brothers.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a great series to binge from book 1 till the end. Like I was obsessed, and I think did she write a novella for the parents? So we found out how they met.
Yeah, just recently too, I think.
Yeah, it was such
Because there was a novella like to start the series, and then it was the whole series. And I feel like we just got the parents' novella within the last couple of months.
It was so good. I really, really like that series. It's one of those, again, I think Kaylee Ryan is one of those that is just really, people are sleeping on.
Mm-hmm.
oh, big time.
I think people are just sleeping on those.
I think part of it is like her books are they're not soft, but there's not a lot of angst. There's a lot of emotion, but they're
mac and cheese.
They're mac and cheese, and some people are not looking for that mac and cheese. But one thing with her books, though, too, is they're all very different. Like her characters are different, her stories are different. Like you're not reading the same book over and over again.
And even in her extended families, like you have the Riggins, there's 5 brothers. The one series, it's like 9 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Each character is very unique and very different. And it was well done. Billionaire and Blue Jeans series by Aaron Nicholas. It's not a bakery. They own the pie shop.
I mean, but it's a pie shop, so it's kind of baking. But she has her Applebee, Iowa, the hot cake series. Like those are all bakery based. Like it's a small town bakery and then a big corporation who make like almost like Little Debbie's.
Well, in the Billionaire one, it's one that it's about feeding people.
Yeah.
Like you get that community caregiving nourishment. That's where I was going.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
with that. No, I don't care.
In the other direction.
100% a bakery, you do the same things. You mix things together, you put it in a dish thing, and you bake it. It's the same process.
Right.
It's 100% a bakery.
Well, and even
bake it.
Anything but pie.
You have to bake it. You have to
I'm
roll
not
out the
baking
pie
anything,
crust.
so
I like a good blueberry muffin from a bakery, like with the crumble on top.
Oh, yeah. I had a raspberry muffin the other day from the local bakery. It was quite tasty.
I also am a big fan of cupcakes. Okay, and I didn't know this until a few years ago. There are people that pull their cupcakes apart and put the bottom part on top of the...
You make a sandwich.
Right?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Take the bottom and like put it on the top and then squeeze it so that way you're not eating like all the ice and then you have like the butt of the cupcake with nothing.
Yeah.
Why is this a secret only some people know?
I didn't realize it was a secret.
I only learned it
It wasn't
recently.
a
I
secret.
have eaten my cupcakes.
Now.
The rare occasion that I eat cupcakes, I have always eaten them like that.
I've never seen a person do this. You know how I see people eat cupcakes? They either scrape the icing off, lick the icing off, break the top off, and eat the bottom. Like there's
Like
many,
a muffin top.
but it's always about the icing, and it's more of a muffin type process. Yes,
Mhm.
but I've never seen the sandwich method, and now I feel like I need a cupcake to experience this myself. What do you do
It's
if there's like 3 layer? Like, what do you do when the cupcake to icing ratio is 1 to 1?
I squish it. I don't know.
Still squish it. Yeah, you just pull it in half.
You just
Yeah.
break the bottom and smush.
I didn't even know this was a thing until recently, Lindsay, so don't
I'm
get mad at
learning
me.
this
I don't know
right
how
now.
nobody knew about this.
I
Jenny, did
knew.
you know?
Yes, I knew. Like I didn't know, like you, I did not know it was a secret.
I didn't know people didn't know about that.
I only
And
know
I'm not a cake eater
now.
either. Like that's what boggles my mind. Like I could go years without eating actual cake and I would be content with that.
What's wrong with you? Cherry chip
I-
cake is like the
What
superior
the fuck
cake.
is cherry chip cake?
What is cherry chip?
Very.
You've never had
Yeah.
cherry chip cake?
Is it an
No, but I
Ohio
had
thing?
watermelon cake that is literally watermelon flavored pound cake, and it's delicious.
That
No,
does not
it's
sound good.
it's like a vanilla cake
It is so
with
good.
chopped up maraschino cherries in it. And I don't know, it's delicious. The donut shop Sid works out, they started making cherry chip donuts.
I mean, when
Mm.
I come visit next time, I'll get a cherry chip donut.
They're divine. I didn't know. Nobody
It
knew.
does sound good, but I don't know what it is. I like a cheesecake or an ice cream cake.
I'm a
not
big fan
necessarily
of
like a
Dietz's Dairy Queen. They make the ice cream cake. They make them cupcake size, so you can get
Yeah,
like
you've
a
talked about
single
those.
serving. It's delicious.
I want
It's-
like baby sized desserts where I can try like 20 different things for one dessert.
I mean, fair.
You
We're
would
talking
like
about
a
a lot of
tasty-
food this episode
dessert
and not
tasty.
necessarily
Right.
books.
I'm actually
I know.
getting really hungry for these freaking like desserts now though.
I really wanted bread pudding earlier.
Ooh, I made apple crisp yesterday. It was really good.
That sounds healthy.
You know what? I was really disappointed with the Smarty Pants books with not because the books were bad. The books were amazing, the Donner Bakery ones, but I was
Mhm.
really upset because I did try to make like some fancy experimental muffins. Did not go well.
Did not go well.
Well, in the one Jiffy
Felt
Cake
that.
book, like Temperance, like she does all the Johnny Cash names for her
I know,
muffins.
I wanted to
Right.
bring a fire muffin.
Like they sound really good. I
Where's
wonder
the
if
recipes?
Jeff and Jenny Kate, if you're listening, do you have recipes for these things, or are you just like naming
They're
things
just-
off the seat
Yeah,
of your
they're
pants?
just making. Yeah.
Because I will
Um,
love you forever
No.
if you give me a recipe.
one of
Not
our
that I don't
local
anyway, but-
bakeries does an Elvis cupcake,
Is it banana?
banana and
Peanut
peanut
butter?
butter.
Butter?
It's a peanut butter
sounds
cake
good.
with
I do like
banana.
that blend.
Put bacon on it too.
They do. They put like a little piece of bacon.
Like a bacon crumble?
Yeah. But it's glazed bacon. It's like the sugar glazed.
Oh, like a honey glazed bacon.
Yeah, or maple. I think it's maple sugar glazed bacon.
God damn, I'm getting hungry.
I'm so sorry. Okay, let's talk book recs because Susie's in the comments telling us to stop. She's getting hungry. Susie,
So
if you can
thinking-
figure out how to make a muffin of any of these, let us know.
So in the world of cupcakes, Melissa Schroeder actually has a series. It's called Camo and Cupcakes. So it's a group of friends who come back from the army. Well, I think two of them were in the army, but like they had grown up together, and or maybe just one of them. But the first book, he was in the army, and he is the baker.
Okay.
I really enjoy that series. But one of them's a lawyer, but they own like he opens the bakery as part of like when he returns like to civilian life, and that's like his readjustment and like after he retires.
What do you got, Jenny? Do you have a bakery to recommend? A bakery book? We'll do bakeries first.
Weird Science, of course,
Of course.
by Penny Reed. I mean, Banana Cake
The Banana
Queen.
Cake
Like,
Queen.
Fair. Okay, Lindsay, do you have a bakery to recommend?
Yeah, I'll do Hide and Seek by Layla Frost. The female main character is the baker.
That's a good
I
one.
had that one on my list as well. I really enjoy it.
Truly Madly Deeply by Erica Kelly. Again, you want to talk about an underrated author that
Yes.
nobody is reading,
Mm-hmm.
but and very bingeable, small town, fun series. In Truly Madly Deeply, the heroine has an opportunity to take over a dessert cupcake truck because the owner falls ill. So she takes it over during the town's big music festival. And she's renting a cabin on the male main character's family ranch. And he's a single dad. It's so good. But again, she makes these desserts and talks about like all the butter and the pounds of sugar. And I'm just like, I would like some of that. I would like that. Anyway. Okay. What do you got next, Leah?
I have Clap Back by Lonnie Lynn Vale. The bakery is named Pie Hard. But she is the baker. He is a cop. Her dad is the chief of police, but like hates the fact that she has a bakery, but everybody like goes because they love like everything she makes. But it's just a fun story.
What you got, Jenny?
Um, Kissing Kosher by Jen Mitzler. It's a Jewish bakery and kind of like some undercover espionage type action going on.
Okay.
And it has really good chronic illness rep.
What do you got, Lindsay?
I have Mimi Kinley's Baker and Billionaires novellas.
Oh, those
So
are good
they're
ones.
really cute. They're really fast reads. The first one is like a hate to love kind of situation where he's the billionaire trying to destroy her bakery. I can't remember like all the details of it, but
Those
it's
are
been
great books too to like get over a slump.
Yeah, because they're real short, real fast, but very well done.
but they're also cute names. Like, they have names.
They are. We might be slightly biased because we love Mimi. So
We do.
I do. I love her Mindy Kinley
yeah.
books as well a lot.
Okay, so Digging Up Love by Chandra Blumberg. She's an inspiring baker looking to leave her small town, but is thrown into an unexpected romance with a charming paleontologist when dinosaur fossils are found on her family's land. And it's a
What?
really cute What?
Lindsay's like, hang on.
it's a really cute cover. It's
She needs-
orange.
Lindsay wants to write it down. That's
She
why
needs
she's
it
saying
now.
What's
Dig-
this book?
Digging Up Love. I think it was a
wait. It's
Montlake
really
release.
good. Yeah,
I think it's a read listen on Montlake.
Let's look.
I need this book. I want to find
this
Dinosaur
author has-
Bones.
This author has another book coming out this like next month,
It was a good one.
and I am really excited about it. She has and her covers are adorable. Adorable.
You're standing on a cake of dinosaur bones.
yeah,
Yes.
it is KU and it is read and listen.
It was a prime early read too. Yeah, it's a read listen.
Oh, boy, yeah.
It's a really good story, and it's 345 pages, but it does not feel 345 pages.
Could it be more cute?
Right.
You
Not
need to read it.
disagreeing. It's adorable. Okay, Lee, do you have another book before Lindsay's
Yeah, so
find dinosaur bones?
Down and Dirty Zach by Jeannie St. James. She is the baker, and she is delivering a cake to him when he first gets like to the clubhouse when she first gets out of jail, and he mistakes her as a stripper.
Yes, I had that one on my list.
It's
Because
delightful.
Bakers and strippers are kind of the same thing.
I mean, he's been in jail for years, and he sees a lady, and he is attracted, and
It's a funny. I mean, it's dark because it's a motorcycle club, but
And
there's
hers are
some
darker,
little
yeah.
funny moments in that
Yeah.
book. Jenny, do you have? And they ride motorcycles, Jenny. So
they
Bonus.
do
Well, that's
ride.
always a plus in the
They
MC
actually ride them
world.
a lot. So
what do you have, Jenny?
Kiss My Cupcake by Helena Hunting. Like, I mean, you haven't read that book. It's a fun one.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they share a wall. She's trying to get her cupcake right, like
Right.
placed running and he's doing axe throwing.
Right.
Like,
And she has like champagne glasses on the walls and rainbows in color and yeah.
yeah, they also have like a door between their like on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that causes some issues.
Okay, Lindsay, what do you have now?
I'm going to say The Haunted One by Brittany Shaheen. And I say that because at the very beginning of the book, she has a bakery and she winds up not having the bakery at the end. It's a whole part of the plot. It doesn't actually take place in the bakery, but she is a baker and a bakery owner. So
I had that one too, Lynn, because it may not be like heavy in it, but it is there.
So Alexis Hall, they have two different queer repped bakery romances. Rosaline Palmer takes the cake and Paris Delacourt is about to crumble. And Alexis Hall, they write really great queer rep. But their characters are there's at least one of them that's really awkward.
I love an awkward character.
Well, and stay tuned because Danica Flynn has the second book in her Murphy series. I'm currently beta reading it, and it's really great. The heroine owns the coffee shop. These two are he is so awkward, the hero. So awkward. I was like, this might be the most awkward character I've ever read. Ever.
But you have to wait a while because it's not coming out for a long time.
I think it's coming out maybe late fall.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
it feels at the rate of 2025, it feels like 5 years. All feels
Exactly.
like 5 years.
Okay, last bakery rec. Let's do last bakery and then we'll go to coffee shops.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I up?
I think it's Leah.
Okay.
I have Baking and Babies by Tara Civic. It's part
I had
of
that
her
too.
cupcakes or chocoholic series that she has. I really enjoy everything that she puts out. Like some are better than others, but like she just
If you've
writes a
never read
really-
her, now is the time to read her. She's currently fighting stage 4 breast cancer.
Yeah.
And so romance
Yeah,
community, we support Romance Landia, we support our each other, and so she could use the extra love right now.
But she writes a really great rom-com and like there's emotion in them, but they're very entertaining at the same time.
Okay, Jenny, now it's your turn.
A Billionaire is Back by Kaylee Lauren and Connor Kress. He just moves back and she's like takes over her mom's bakery and is kind of like struggling. So like normal, she had to come back home for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And then her brother's best friend also comes back home and she's always had a crush on him. But he also has a lot of money that causes some issues.
Okay.
Mhm.
Lindsay, what do you got for your last bakery?
I have to pick just one.
Just one.
If we have time at the end, we'll come back.
So I'm gonna do a throwback. I've recommended these before, but Stripped Down and Mowed Over by May Harden because it's two, not just one, but they're sisters. It's the first two in a series. She didn't finish it. Stripped Down, they're like working on opening up the bakery. So it's the sister who's like the bakery owner. And in the second one, it's a sister who like works multiple jobs. One of them is like in the bakery, and there's like a romantic suspense element in that. So there
I'm
you
still a
go.
little salty that series isn't finished.
I know. That's why I'm read it under duress because it is not done and it's been years.
Yeah.
It's good and I really like it.
Jen Ellen brings up My Favorite Kidnapper by Melanie Moreland. That is the love of cupcakes.
Yeah.
I am going to do a Lindsay. I have two. Donut Fall in Love by Jackie Lau, because I would be remiss if we didn't talk about donuts, because I am a fan of the donuts. And The Donut Trap by Julie Teu. It's Tieu.
Sounds good to me.
It's all they are. They own donut shops. I mean, come on, you guys, donuts.
That's a book I got for 10
What?
cents
Is
at the
baking?
library sale because
Which one?
the lady, the Donut Trap, because the lady was like, "This is a kid's book," and I'm like, "It is not. And she's like, no, it's a kid's book. Look at the cover. And I'm like, no, I will
It's
pay
not
you
a kid's
25 cents
book.
for this book. Like, she's like, no, it's a kid's book. It's only 10 cents. And I'm
No,
like,
no children should be reading that book. I mean, they
right? I'm
can.
like,
It's
I
a
mean,
slow
if you want
burn.
to scar them for life, perhaps.
It's a very slow burn, but it actually, the audiobook was exceptional on both of those. Jackie Lau's audiobook also in Donut Fall in Love was
I
exceptional.
just really love that title because I love a pun.
Well, and she also had like her cherry pie book. She has a book about Pie Day. I do love
Oh.
Jackie Lau. She's got a little bit of nerdiness in her that
she does.
makes my heart happy. Okay, we're going to coffee shops now, guys. Coffee
Okay.
shops. Jen Ellen mentions it in the chat. Our friend Carrie Ann Ryan has one where the coffee shop is attached to the tattoo parlor next door, and it is a MMF romance called My Best Friend's Temptation. And they serve a lot of coffee, and I do like that one. What do you got, Leah, for coffee shops?
So Nikki Mays does her it's actually two books because it's book one and book two. It's a coffee shop owner and a bakery, but they are combining the business and like creating like a bigger spot. But it's called Surrender to You is book one and Addicted to You is book two. Book one, she is the coffee shop owner. He is a police officer and friends with her brother. They really like each other, but they're super awkward and like don't want to admit that they like each other. So they're really like weird around each other, but it's just they're funny and easy reads. And I really enjoy them.
Didn't Aurora Rose Reynolds have a book in one of her series that
Yeah, it's Baiting Him.
Is
It's a
that-
bakery.
that's a no, in the Montana one
No, no,
where
because
they're gonna
book one and book three, they move to Montana.
but isn't she opening like a bookstore next to the coffee shop?
I think she was just doing a bookstore.
Okay. Anyway.
But Baiting Him, she owns a bakery.
Okay. I'm confused.
Which you would think that there would be more coffee shops in Aurora's world,
Right?
because it's a fairly big world, but nobody has a coffee shop.
We should ask her to rectify that.
We should.
Jenny, what do you have for coffee shops?
Marriage for One by Ella May.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, she's working on it's a marriage of convenience, and her benefit is getting the money to start her own coffee shop.
Yeah. Lindsay, what do you got for coffee shop?
Rude Love by Piper Rain. It's set in Alaska, and she's the coffee shop owner. He's an MMA fighter. It's like a side off of their Bailey series. I really liked this one. This was one of my favorite of the Green series.
Yeah, that was one of my. I didn't like a lot of the Green series, but
And I never, but I liked
that
that
one's a good
one.
one.
And also, like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I've been to a lot of small towns in Alaska. And, like, I just imagined it so well.
One of my favorite coffee shop romances would be Deja Brew by Celestine Martin. It is Groundhog Day meets Gilmore Girls. It's a little bit witchy. I talked about it in our pumpkin and spice episode, and then I also talked about it in our witchy episode that we did, our fall vibe, and then again in our witchy episode. I really like it. That whole series, it's 3 books. It's quirky. It's fun. Again, lots of awkwardness in it. Sue brings up the Busy Bean series that's inspired by Serena Bowen in her True North world. That's a multi-author writing in the world. Some of them are good. Some of them...
Yeah, I have that series on my list. I've read like 2 or 3 of them, but the whole series revolves around the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Everybody in the series like is in like a employee of the shop
Shop.
in some way or the other.
Okay, what else do you have, Leah?
I have Reckless Faith by Nissa Catherine. It's in her most recent series. I don't think she owns it, but she is the manager of the coffee shop that is by the
No, she owns it. She leases
Does
the
she own it? I
space.
couldn't remember if she owned it
She
or
owns
not.
it and leased the space, but the book before that with the sheriff, she
Yeah.
owns the bakery that's next door to the liquor store.
Yes.
because her grandma owns it. So that has a bakery and a coffee shop in it.
Mm-hmm. But that, honestly, if that you haven't read that series, or you haven't read Nissa Catherine, you need to do it.
It's a
because
really
it's
good
very
series, and I think you can read it as a standalone. You don't
Yeah.
need to have read any of her previous books.
Right.
And it's got that light suspense
Mm-hmm.
to it, which I think is always
And they're on the shorter side too, so you're not like inundated into like 400 pages of chaos.
right. What do you have, Jenny?
This one's for Heather the Thief. It's a Lost Boys prequel by Kelly Fox. It's MM. Um, the one guy is working at the coffee shop next to the bar, and they are having like a Twitter war, to help bring in customers and like accuse each other of stealing material.
That's fun. Lindsay, what do you have?
It is.
I have The Fadeaway by Rebecca Genshak. This is one of my actually like my favorite books by Rebecca Genshak, and probably one of my favorite coffee shop romances. So it's a new adult. They're in college. She is a single mom. He is a star basketball player who does not know she's a single mom. And he has been after her, like trying to get her to go on a date. And like she says no, obviously, because she's got a kid she's taking care of outside of school and everything. And it's just really, really cute.
I'm going to go with Mansplain by Vanessa Vale. She's the owner of the coffee shop. I think it's called Hotties, right? Is the coffee shop
Yeah, I think so. Hotties.
called
Bright pink shirts.
with the bright pink shirts, and he's the billionaire brother. They do not get along.
Well, and then he wears the like
No,
the
that's in
smallest,
book one. He does
but the
that.
Manhunt,
smallest pink
yeah.
t-shirt
Manhunt.
ever.
That series again. It's a small town, easy to read, very digestible. You can pick and choose. If there's a trope you don't like, pick a different one.
Yeah.
I think are they all age gaps? One of them's a age gap where she's older.
Yeah, that's the sister's book.
That's book
Right.
2.
I mean, there's gaps, but I don't think all of them are considered an age gap because some of them are bigger than others. Like the
books were fun.
logger, like the logger owner. And,
The
like,
landscape guy.
Yeah, like that age gap is really big, but the rest of them aren't like super big.
And I think those are back in Kindle Unlimited too.
They might be here. I'll check.
Well, give us a coffee shop while you check.
I have Deja Brew also, but not by the same author. It's called by Jessica Gaziella. It is in her mafia world. So the owner of the coffee shop accidentally gets stuck transporting cocaine in her like coffee imports. And so there's this
Like
whole
on
like
purpose.
well, so not on purpose, but then like once it happens, she's kind of stuck. And so like it's the whole like
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, like they shipped it and then they're like, "Oh, well you did it once, you have to do it again because like
It worked.
it worked." Yes. It's a really good series. Like her hero is like a hacker and like tries to stay away, but he can't. And she's a new shop to the area, and there's already another shop that is very popular, but like her coffee is good, and I really enjoyed Jessica Gaziella's stories. Like they're mafia, but they're not super dark at the same time. So if you are looking to try it, like she's a good entrance to it.
Place to start.
Yeah.
Okay, Jenny, what do you have for coffee shop?
Holly freaking Hughes by Kelsey Kingsley. This is actually her debut,
Mm-hmm.
so it's pretty old. But they meet in a coffee shop, and it's kind of critical to the plot.
What do you got, Lindsay? For
Mansplain, that series is in KU
is
right
in
now.
KU.
Yeah.
What do you got, Lindsay?
I'll do Irresistible by Melanie Harlow. I've recommended this like 10,000 times, but Franny is opening her own bakery and coffee shop. It winds up being more of like a coffee shop setting throughout the series, but I'll recommend that one because it's probably one of my favorites
Hey,
by her.
Did you see the special edition covers that she just showed today? They're really pretty.
Oh, Melanie Harlow.
Yeah.
Like because
for
I'm
that whole series, there's special edition ones with like sprayed edges.
I've
They're
decided
very
my approach to special editions is I don't like any of them
Wow.
Since
You
I'm
keep-
getting them.
You keep telling yourself you,
You
don't
keep
like
telling yourself that.
any
I
of
really
them.
like
I hate them.
sometimes the special editions I've questioned, but these ones I really enjoyed. You'll have to go find
She
them, or I
hates
can find
them.
them and send them to you.
The Wrong Cafe by Janet Aston. She works at the coffee shop. They meet at the coffee shop when he comes in to order. They have a one night stand, and then he ends up being her OBGYN. And
Oh,
there's
that's awkward.
it was awkward. But there's also like there's
Lube
really good
used.
lube used. Anyway, good butt sex rep. Leah, what do you got? This is your last one. Last one.
I have Daddy in Disguise by Taryn Quinn. The heroine is, I am blanking on her name, but she loves like horror movies, is very intense, but she makes like special blends and brews for like certain people, but she never tells them what's in it. And so like she basically matches their coffee. Like you don't order coffee, she gives you what you're gonna drink, but it always works out really well. And then it's in her Crescent. Well, it's two authors. It's in their Crescent Cove series. It's basically all accidental pregnancies. So if that's a thing for you, you won't like that series. But it's fun. It's funny. It's small town chaos of delightness.
Okay, last one, Jenny.
I don't have any more that weren't already mentioned.
Okay.
Sorry. But I have had somebody make me a coffee like that. Like I was pregnant and the guy was like, "So you need a decaf?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it was at Starbucks, but he wrote a bunch of crap on the cup
Uh-huh.
and I have never been able to replicate it.
But was
Was
it
it-
I
good?
it was delicious. And I took a picture and I was like, "Help me out here, people."
Yeah, I
But
can figure it out.
No,
I
That
used to
sucks.
work there. Send it to me, Jenny. I can.
okay, I will.
Okay.
Um,
Lindsay, last coffee shop.
I am gonna be really mean to everybody who hasn't read this book because I saved this one just for the purposes of this episode for last. And it is Crazy Stupid Bromance by Alyssa K. Adams. It's also like a major throwback, but the coffee shop is called Toe Beans. Toe Beans. That's it. Thank you.
And isn't it a
That's
cat
about it.
cafe coffee shop?
I can't remember, but
I
I'm
think
really
so.
disturbed by the fact that it is called Toe Beans.
But I'm pretty sure it's a cat cafe. Like she serves coffee, but you can also like rescue a cat.
And I say that gives me some icks. Like I have a
me
cat.
really.
It's very clear. Like they're popping up places. Like I know there's
I
one
know I
in the
don't
town
like
north
it.
of us.
Like
I don't like
if I'm
them.
leaving my home, I don't want to hang out with cats.
Okay, but there are some
Yeah,
people
but
that can't
some
have a
people
cat.
that do.
Yeah,
Well, I just won't go to those places.
Exactly. They're not for you.
they're just not for you.
They are not for
Um,
me.
I'd be allergic.
I have a cat. I don't need to see them outside my house.
So the
You
last
had a cat.
I used to have 3 cats, but 2 of them have since died. They were all old. They're old. They were not young
they just
like Dads.
died.
They were old
You can't say they
cats.
passed on to their next life. They're
They
dead.
crossed the Rainbow Bridge, but they were old, so it's okay.
Okay. So Shucked by Kate Canterbury. They open a coffee shop, but vegan coffee shop.
Yeah, they sell all kinds
How
of
does
like
that work?
plant-based stuff.
Well,
It
coffee
doesn't
is
work well.
plant-based. It's
Yeah.
bean
No, I know
water,
coffee is plant-based, but how do you...
oat milk, soy milk. I don't know, but it does
That
have a
just
coffee
sounds
shop.
gross.
It's integral to the story, to the plot, because she's warring with the guy next door that owns the seafood restaurant.
She
So
has one, though. It's not hard pressed, but it's in that world where she is a baker. And I do enjoy that one because she kind of has her and the hero have like a love-hate relationship going on.
yeah, I don't know.
But I can't think of what that one's called.
All I can tell you.
It's not hard pressed. I know
Um,
that because that's her mail one, I think.
Okay. Those are our book recs. You can find them listed on our website at buzzingaboutromance.com. We might add some few extras that we didn't get to talk about. But now it's
that
time. It's time.
Book
Of the week. It's book of the week time. Lindsay, what's your book of the week?
I don't know.
Okay,
Oh,
we're coming back to
goodness gracious.
Lindsay. Jenny,
No,
what's your...
well,
Do you
Yeah.
want to go?
No.
No. Lindsay, what's your book of the week? Or not Lindsay, Jenny. Jenny, what's your book of the week?
Every Wrong You Right by J.E. Parker. I just finished this yesterday. And
You
I
bawled like a
was
freaking baby, didn't you?
I
Oh my God.
did.
Do you have a book hangover?
No, not so much. Because I definitely did a Leah and like skipped and like read ahead, and that's when I was
You got the
bawling.
crying out of the way and then you went back to read the
Yes,
story.
I did.
Honestly, would I say do that with all of her books because she will break you apart in so many ways every
Yeah,
freaking time.
it was unexpected. Yeah, it's really good. It's a tearjerker. I did enjoy that he bought her hearing aids.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese and rice, Leah.
She like her heroes are like all over the top. Like oh my God. She likes
Yeah,
a really
they're
over the
like,
top, like possessive, like intense, like
But your
I've
bad
been telling you
habits.
freaking people to read her for a really long
But your
time.
habits, your bad habits are spreading like disease.
You're welcome, reading world. You're welcome.
Cheese and rice. Okay, Lindsay, do you have a book?
I do. I read a lot.
Thank you, Jen Ellen.
I've read a lot of stuff this week, so I had a lot on my list for this episode, and then I reread. I tried to read a bunch of new stuff, didn't read any of it, DNF'd it all very quickly. I was like, nope, not in the mood, not in the mood, not in the mood, not in the mood. And then I reread Kiss by Kiss by Kaylee Ryan, and then I was like, I'm gonna listen to my Alien Space Goop audiobooks some more. So there was a lot of that going on this week. And I was like, nobody wants to hear me talk about that again. So I'm gonna say that one, Regret by Carrie Elks, because I finally read this. Becky's gonna be like, so much I told you so. We're gonna talk about it on Wednesday. So that's all.
So good.
It was so good.
So good. And it's a really good audio, but we'll talk about it.
And Becky's gonna say I told you so like 10,000 times over.
she is.
Hey, I read this
a
one
lot.
like right after it came out, so she
Yeah.
cannot tell me that.
Cannot.
She's been
Just
telling
saying.
me for over a year to read this.
I know she has.
I know. Okay, Leah, what was your book of the week?
My book of the week was Frankie by Janice Whitaker. It's her new one in her Big Northwest series. So this one, it's enemies to lover, like friends to enemies to lovers type of thing. I just really enjoy it. The premise of it is, it's not so much in this one, but they're kind of Bigfoot shifters. Yeah, but she doesn't shift in this one, so I'm not sure. There's other sisters, and I like haven't read the other sisters, and I jumped into this one, which you can do that, and I wasn't lost, but I don't know if the other sisters shift in their books, but it's delightful and wonderful, and
Okay.
Yeah.
Sasquatch Shifters. Got it.
Sasquatch shifters.
Okay, so I have two books of the week. One was on brand with what we talked about this episode. It's a new release coming this Thursday, March the 6th. It's called An Imperfect Truth by Lee Caron. Caron. I knew I was going to get it wrong.
I asked her for the phonetic spelling.
You're so smart. You're so smart. Okay, so this is a Friends to Lovers. He owns the coffee shop. It's a small town, cozy. It's just warm and cozy. He is chubby, tatted, and bearded, and total golden retriever, slow burn romance. Like, this is a Heather and Jenny romance, if ever there was a Heather and Jenny romance.
And I'm talking to Lee soon. I'm
Yeah.
very excited about
She was a
doing
new
an
to me
author
author.
spotlight.
I happened to see her character art over on Instagram, and it was
The covers are gorgeous.
adorable. And I was like, hey,
and proportionate.
and proportionate. He's a big guy. Like, we don't get that all the time. Like, he's a big guy, and I love a big guy. I mean, so I really liked that. And then my other book of the week is If You Love Me by Helena Hunting. I think it comes out in 2 weeks. I got the audio for it. It is book 4 in her Toronto Terror series. It's an age gap. He's the goalie retiring out, and she's hired on as a defense coach. So she's an assistant coach for the team. But they had a one-night stand 3 years previous.
It comes out March 13th.
Okay, comes out March 3rd, and she ghosted him. And
I
then
kind of like
he
when
didn't
that
know who she was,
happens.
but she knew who he was. But it wasn't icky. Anyway, I really enjoyed this book. Like, I devoured the audio. 10 out of 10 recommend. So
I may have to read that one
it was
because I
really
like a good
good.
ghosting.
I happened to have ended up with 2 arcs, and I sent Jenny the audio. I was like, here, you need to read this. And she's like, okay. Anyway, that's it for Book of the Weeks. Patreon update. Swag Pack sponsor for March is author Lizzie B. Brown. She has some great bisexual rep in her books, so absolutely should check her out if she's a new to you author. She writes novellas. Her books are on the shorter side, so but she sponsored our swag packs for March, so yay. Those will be hitting mailboxes this week. Make sure you join us back here Wednesday for our discussion of That One Regret by Carrie Elks. The ebook is available on Kindle Unlimited, and the audio is available in Hoopla. Or I think it's in AnyPlay too, because it's a Tantor audio, so it should be wide everywhere. And then for a list of books we talked about on this episode, please visit our On the Shelf show notes at buzzingaboutromance.com. That's a wrap on this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed this sweet and steamy chat about bakeries and coffee shops and romance, because let's be honest, nothing pairs better with love than a fresh baked pastry or a perfectly brewed cup of coffee. Do you have a favorite romance set in a bakery or coffee shop? We'd love to hear your recommendations. Come hang out with us on social media or drop us a message over at bookcaseandcoffee.com. And if you enjoyed today's episodes, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share with your fellow romance readers. Anyway, until next time. Wait.
No.
Wait.
Digging Up Love is $7.29 paperback on Amazon. It's already on the way to me. I mean, it's not. I have to tell you, it's $7.29. Everybody.
Lindsay's like ordering paperbacks in the middle of the episode. So
We
You
have
did
all
this
done
week.
that. We have all done that.
I'm just like,
Anyway, sorry. It's on topic at least.
That is a really
It
great
is.
deal, though.
It is.
$7.29.
and it's a super cute cover. So
It is, and it's a good book too.
I had to. It's $7.29.
We might need to put that on an episode for a Wednesday episode. It might be a good Wednesday
Yeah,
episode.
I agree.
Okay. Until next time, everybody.
Happy reading, everybody.
Find us on Instagram at buzzingaboutromance or on Twitter at buzzingromance. If you like the podcast, please leave a review. If you'd like to support us directly, join the Bookcase and Coffee Patreon and receive exclusive content only available to Patreon members. Check out bookcaseandcoffee.com for our on-the-shelf show notes.